So, what is nuclear? Nuclear is the energy emitted from an atom's nucleus, which is composed of protons and neutrons. Is known as nuclear energy. There are two ways to create these energy sources. First is fission, which occurs when an atom nuclei split into several pieces. Second, fusion, which occurs when nuclei fuse together. So, what can we relate? Nuclear and science. The study of atom is known as nuclear science. The term nuclear in nuclear science refers to of or relating to or constituting the nucleus of an atom. New, more effective material and medication can be created if we can comprehend how atoms interact, come together, and can be best coupled with other atoms. In real life, nuclear science is used to generate electricity in power plant, diagnose and treat diseases through medical imaging and radiotherapy, and support scientific research. Overall, nuclear science plays an important role in advancing technology and improving human life when used safely and responsibly. So, what can we relate? Nuclear and society. Nuclear energy is not just about physics and power plant. It's deeply connected to society. Public acceptance of nuclear energy affects national energy decision, policy, and future development. Studies show that societal concern about safety, trust in authorities, and perception of risk strongly influence whether communities support or oppose nuclear power. Understanding this attitude helps policymakers and scientists communicate more effectively and build policies that reflect public value, especially as the world seeks low carbon energy solutions. Nuclear energy provides important benefit to society by supplying large amount of reliable electricity with very low carbon emission. This helps countries reduce air pollution and slow climate change, improving public health and environmental quality. Nuclear power also supports energy security by reducing dependence on fossil fuel and import. In addition, the nuclear industry creates high-skilled jobs and drives technological development, contributing to economic growth and long-term sustainability.
To understand the hidden cost, we must first understand the invention. The science of nuclear energy actually traces back to 1898 when Marie Curie discovered radioactivity, a discovery that changed our fundamental understanding of matter. But the true scientific milestone came in 1938. Scientists Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann successfully demonstrated the nuclear fission, or the splitting of the atom's nucleus. This wasn't just a lab trick. It was the discovery of a source that is a million times more energy dense than a chemical fuel. By 1942, Enrico Fermi achieved the first controlled self-sustaining nuclear chain reaction. This was a technological milestone that proved we could harness this power for more than just a momentary blast. we could turn it into a steady flow of heat. Commercialization soon followed. In 1957, the first commercial nuclear power plant opened its door, marking the start of the industry that has now existed for nearly 70 years. Since then, the technology has evolved from the experimental Generation 1 reactor to the modern Generation 4 design we see today. Design that focus on passive safety and even recycling old fuel.
Today, we are speaking with scientists to better understand nuclear energy and its impact on society. Hello, Dr. Fahmi. I'm just want to ask a few questions. From scientific point of view, what are the main advantage and disadvantages of nuclear energy for society?
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Fahmi, a nuclear physicist with over 20 years studying energy system. Today, let's dive into the pros and cons of nuclear energy. Straight from the science starting with a fun fact. Nuclear power plant generate a massive amount of electricity from tiny fuel amount. 1 kilogram of uranium produces far more energy than the same weight in coal or oil. Nuclear delivers ultra-high energy density when one small uranium pellet matches a ton of coal, powering plant reliably 24/7 at over 90% capacity, far steadier than solar or wind. It produces zero CO2 during operation, slashing greenhouse gases and aiding climate goals without forcing fuel pollution. Land use stay minimal, needing far less space than sprawling solar farm or wind field for equivalent output. For the advantages of nuclear, upfront costs soared into billion per plant, with dragging 10 plus years due to strict regulation and overruns. Rare but severe accidents like Chernobyl highlight safety risks. Despite modern design, slashing meltdown chance dramatically. Radioactive waste demand secure storage for thousands of years, posing long-term management challenge.
Official announcement from the Council of Ministers. There has been an accident at the Chernobyl atomic power station.
With the current energy crisis and the push for net zero, nuclear power is back in the headline. We are told it is clean, it is green, and it is necessary. But as we look at the future of energy, we have to talk about the hidden costs of the past. It's not just about radiation reading. It's about human displacement and economic survival. To help us unpack the science and the sociology behind this, I'm joined by Dr. Hazim, a nuclear technologist and a researcher in the socio-technical system. Doctor, thanks for joining. Let's look back at the 1986. Most people think of Chernobyl as a physics problem, a reactor blowing up. But from an STS perspective, was it really just a technical glitch?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Then that's actually a great question. In science and technology studies, we view nuclear plants as socio-technical systems. All right. You can't separate the machine from the people running it. You have to have both of them. Okay. So Chernobyl wasn't just a failure of atoms. It was a failure of design culture and human hierarchy. You had a flawed reactor design, yes, but you also had a political system that discouraged safety reporting. The result? A catastrophe that cost over $100 billion in damages. That economic crater proved that when you ignore the social part of the science, the technical part becomes uncontrollable.
That's bring us to the modern era. Fukushima in 2011. This was a developed nation, high-tech safety standard. Yet, the devastation was massive. What does Fukushima teach us about the hidden costs of nuclear energy today?
Well, the devastation of Fukushima teaches us that the hidden cost is almost always displacement. Okay, we tend to fear the radiation, but the real tragedy is the eraser of community. Fukushima led to 160,000 people being displaced. From the societal perspective, that is money that could have built schools, hospitals, or renewable grids, and so much more. Instead, it's being spent just to return the land to zero.
So, connecting this to right now, we have AI data centers demanding more power and nation rushing to build SMRs, which is small modular reactors. If we proceed with nuclear, how do we avoid these past mistakes?
Well, of course, we have to stop treating technology as if it exists in a vacuum. All right? This is the core STS lesson. Technology is not neutral. If we build new reactors to fight climate change, we need a social license to operate. That means acknowledging that the risk isn't just a number on a spreadsheet, it's people's homes. All right. We need engineering that is resilient, not just to earthquakes, but to human error and economic reality.
Malaysia has not pursued nuclear power plant primarily due to strong public opposition. Despite earlier government plans, citizens largely reject the idea over fear of radioactive waste, accident, and health risks, as highlighted in various advocacy campaigns and surveys. Plan for nuclear power emerged in the 2000s amid rising energy needs, targeting plant by 2021 but was shelved after the 2011 Fukushima disaster heightened fear. Former Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad opposed it during both terms, citing unmanageable nuclear waste and past experiences with radioactive material. Recent discussion in 2025 for data center demand have reignited debate, but not firm commitment exists due to unresolved waste disposal issue. Malaysian citizens worry about cancer risk, leukemia, DNA defect from radiation, and vulnerability to disaster or terrorism near plants. Surveys show over 16% express safety concern and prefer studying energy need first, fueling coalition like the Malaysian Coalition Against Nuclear.
Thank you for joining us, Encik Haziq. As a regular Malaysia, could you share why nuclear power worry you and your family?
Of course, I have followed the news since the old plans in 2000s. Plans were supposed to come by 2021, but after Fukushima in 2011, everyone got scared. Here in Kelantan, with floods and quakes nearby, a meltdown or leak could poison our rivers and farms. My kids' future is at stake. I don't want cancer risk or birth defect from radiations.
For last question, would you tell the government about choosing nuclear over other energy option?
Skip nuclear. It is too dangerous and expensive. With no safe waste storage here, surveys show most of us over 16% want safety first and a real study of our energy needs. Go for solar or wind. They are cleaner, cheaper, and locals can benefit without the terror of terrorism or disaster. So, where does this leave us? We started this journey with a miracle science, a uranium pellet the size of a pencil eraser that holds the power of a ton of coal. We saw how this 1938 discovery evolved into a grid that operates with 92% reliability, a machine that doesn't sleep. But we also looked into the abyss. We saw that when this machine fails, the cost isn't measured in kilowatt hours, but in the $300 billion lost to Chernobyl and Fukushima, and the hundreds of thousands of lives displaced from their homes. This brings us home to Malaysia. As we move into the 30th Malaysian Plan, we are facing a 700% surge in energy demand from data center. The government is reconsidering the nuclear option that was shelved in 2018. But the science of the reactor is colliding with the sociology of the people. While technology promises zero emission, 65% of Malaysians are asking, is it safe? From an STS perspective, nuclear energy is the ultimate trade-off. It offers the density to power of future, but its demand a 10,000-year commitment to manage its waste. The question isn't just can we build it? We proved we could do that in 1957. The real question is, are we responsible enough to manage it? For Malaysia and for the world, the hidden cost of the atom is a debt we take out today that our grandchildren will have to pay tomorrow.